Welcome back. This is the IS/IT governance course. We are in module 3. In this module, we set ourselves two goals: evaluate a portfolio of IT investments and IT chargeback. This is the IT chargeback lesson. In this lesson, we have three goals: understand IT chargeback, that is, understand the challenge of IT chargeback, compare alternative approaches to IT chargeback, and then explore the implications of IT chargeback. This video will focus on understanding the IT chargeback process. Let's say I work for a company and this company has 7 different divisions. My company runs SAP as its enterprise system. It costs $3.5 billion annually for all aspects of support. So the question is, how should this cost be charged to the 7 divisions of the company? So the problem of IT chargeback is something like this. We made an IT investment. Now we have the opposite problem, that is, how should the costs associated with the investment be charged to the different user groups? More generally, the problem can be described like this. My IT department performs projects, so they develop applications, and then once the application has been developed, they support the application. So they incur project costs. So a new application is developed, and then once the application is developed, they support the application. They may also offer other services like desktops and laptops and so on. So the IT department incurs costs in implementing projects and then supporting operations. So how should these costs be charged to different users? How should the total cost of IT be charged to different user groups and different departments and different business units? So this is the problem of IT chargeback. Typically, there are 3 broad approaches to IT chargeback. The first is called a cost center. In the cost center approach to IT chargeback, the IT organization offers services. So users demand services, the IT organization offers services, but the cost of IT is a corporate overhead. Another way the cost center approach works is IT offers services, but the costs are charged to different divisions on some ad hoc basis, such as the number of employees in the division, the sales of the division, or the total assets of the division. So in the cost center approach, IT is a cost center. The costs are either a corporate overhead or the costs are charged to different user groups or divisions on some ad hoc basis. The second approach to IT chargeback is IT is a service center. So IT offers services such as application development, application support, desktops, laptops, etc. Each of these services has a price associated with it. Business units pay for consumption. So they pay for, say, application development if an application is desired by them. If they have an application that is supported by the IT organization, the business unit pay for the support. The key point in the service center approach is that the price is set to recover the IT unit's costs of providing the service. So in the service center approach, IT organization offers services, business units pay for consumption, and the price of the service is set to recover the IT unit's costs of providing the service. The third alternative mechanism for IT chargeback is IT as a profit center. In the profit center approach to IT chargeback, IT offers services. So just like the service center, in the profit center also IT offers services such as services for application development, services for application support, and other services such as desktop support, laptops, etc. Again, just like service center, business units pay for consumption. Business units pay for what they consume. However, the difference between profit center and service center is that in the profit center, the price for the IT unit services is benchmarked against the market price. So if the IT units develops an application for a business user, the price the business user pays for the application development is pegged against what an external vendor would charge for developing the same application. So in a profit center, the IT units offers services, the users pay for consumption, and they pay a price that is benchmarked against the market price. That is, the IT unit's price is set by the market. In the next video, we will compare the alternative approaches for IT chargeback. Thank you. Welcome back. In this lesson, we set ourselves 3 goals: understand IT chargeback, compare alternative approaches to IT chargeback, and third, explore the implications of IT chargeback. This video will focus on comparing the 3 alternative approaches to IT chargeback. So let's start by looking at the advantages and disadvantages of the cost center based chargeback. The advantages of the cost center based IT chargeback is that it is very simple to implement. Either the users are not charged for IT services, that is, IT is treated as a corporate overhead, or users are charged based on the number of employees in the division, the sales of the division, or total assets of the division. So in some sense, the chargeback mechanism is very simple and understood by the users. The disadvantages of the cost center based approach to IT chargeback are as follows. First, there is little incentive for IT unit to be efficient. The IT unit understands that it provides services, whatever it costs to provide those services will be treated as a overhead. It will be treated as a corporate overhead. That is, corporate will pay for the cost. Or they know that whatever costs they incur will be charged to some division. So IT organization does not have incentive to be as efficient as it can be. For users also, there is no incentive to consume prudently. The users know that they will demand IT services, and whatever IT services they are provided with, the costs will either be treated as a corporate overhead or they will be charged on the basis of the number of employees in the division, the sales of the division, or total assets of the division. It will not have any bearing to what they actually demanded and received. So this is analogous to an individual going to a retail store not having any prices for items, the individual taking home whatever they want, and at the end of the month receiving a bill which is based on the number of employees in the number of individuals in the family or family income. So this kind of system does not provide user any basis to consume prudently. Finally, another key disadvantage of the cost center approach is that project funding is politicized. That is, which projects get done is a political process. So in the cost center approach, the advantage is that it is very simple to implement and it is very simple for users to understand. But the main disadvantage is that there is little incentive for the IT organization to be efficient, and there is no information for users to consume IT services prudently. Now let's look at the advantages and disadvantages of the service center and the profit center approach. Before we do that, it will be useful to look at a simple example of IT chargeback. So let's say my organization is interested in automated financial reporting. So the IT organization develops and now supports the automated financial reporting service. So that is, they offer automated financial reporting as a support service, and they calculate that their total cost of providing this service is $783. So it costs the IT organization $783 on a per user per month basis to provide automated financial reporting support service. So the total material and labor cost of providing automated financial reporting service is $783 per user per month. So now let's look at how this will affect the advantages and disadvantages of the service center or profit center approach to IT chargeback. So if automated financial reporting is offered as a service at $783 per user per month, the advantage of this service is now the users can consume prudently. They can decide whether they need this service or how many users need this service, right? So the advantage of the service center approach is that there is a service, there is a price for that service. So now the users can decide to consume prudently. They may not want this service, or they may want this service, and they will also determine how many units of this service do they need. The disadvantage of the service center approach is that there is a little incentive for the IT unit to be efficient. That is, the price for the service is set at $783 per user per month, because that is what it costs IT to offer this service. So it costs IT, or IT calculates that it costs $783 per user per month to provide this service. And this is what they will charge the user for this service. They don't have the incentive to reduce the cost of offering this service, because this is what it costs them to offer this service, and they are going to charge the user for providing this service. So the advantage of the service center based approach to chargeback is that there is a price, and the price guides the user to consume prudently. However, the disadvantage of the service center based approach to IT chargeback is that the IT organization charges whatever it costs the IT organization to offer a service. They don't have much incentive to reduce the cost of offering a service. Now let's look at how this service will work if there was a profit center based approach to IT chargeback. In the profit center based approach to IT chargeback, the price for the automated financial reporting service would be benchmarked against the market price for offering this service. So whatever the market will charge for offering this service is the price the IT organization will have to offer this service at. So now what that means is, if the IT organization wants to offer automated financial reporting service, they have to make sure that their costs of offering this service is less than $783 per unit per user per month. So that means in the profit center based approach to chargeback, the IT organization will have the incentive to offer a service at a price that is comparable to the market price. That is, the IT organization has the incentive to be as efficient as a market vendor for offering a service. Again, just like the service center approach, in the profit center approach also, the users have the incentive to consume prudently, because they will have to pay the price that is pegged at the market price. The disadvantage of the profit center based approach to IT chargeback is that the implementation is complex. That is, not only does the IT organization have to determine the costs of offering a service, but they have to find out what is the comparable market offering and how much does the market charge for offering the service. So this is a sort of a complex endeavor. They have to calculate their costs and they have to find a comparable market offering for that service, and so implementation is a challenge in a profit center based approach. So to summarize, in a profit center based approach, services are offered at a price that is benchmarked against the market price. The users can then consume based on the market price of the service. The disadvantage of the profit center approach is that it is a complex implementation. To summarize, the chargeback process works in this way. So the chargeback process for a cost center is very simple. Users are either not charged or charged on some ad hoc basis. However, if the chargeback mechanism works as a service center or as a profit center, the service center or profit centers offers a set of services. There is a price associated with each service. They publish the services. The users consume, and then users get a bill for the services they consume, and then the organization tracks consumption and usage of IT services. In the next video, we're going to discuss the implications of IT chargeback. Thank you. Welcome back. In this lesson, we set ourselves 3 goals: understand IT chargeback, compare alternative approaches to IT chargeback, and explore the implications of IT chargeback. In this video, we will explore the implications of IT chargeback. So to do IT chargeback, the IT organization has to set 2 sets of policies. The first policy is sourcing policy. That is, are business units allowed to buy services from external providers? In the service center and profit center approach to IT chargeback, the user organizations are charged for IT services. So the business units may like it if they have the option of procuring IT services from external providers. So the first policy, or the first key policy in IT chargeback, is, are business units allowed to buy services from external providers? Similarly, another key issue is, can the IT unit serve external customers? This is important because IT unit is expected to offer services at prices that are comparable to market price, especially in the profit center approach to IT chargeback. So it will help the IT organization reduce its costs if the IT organization can serve external customers. Especially when the IT organization has excess capacity, it may help the IT organization reduce its costs when the IT organization can serve external customers. Often, IT organizations follow a policy where they will offer excess capacity to other organizations who are not the client organization's direct competitors. So the key policy in IT chargeback is, are business users allowed to procure services from external providers, and can the IT unit serve external customers? The next key policy in IT chargeback is the cost recovery policy. That is, at what price should the IT organization offer its services to the users? Should they just recover the variable cost of providing a service, or should they charge the full cost of offering a service to the users, or should the price for a service be pegged at the market price of that service? if the IT organization can offer a service at less than the market price for the service, then the question becomes, how much profit should the IT organization make, or should it continue to reduce its prices? Another related issue is, if the IT organization makes profits, then what should be done with the profits? One idea here is, when the IT organization makes profits, those profits can be reinvested in technologies that benefit the whole organization. So to set a chargeback system, the IT organization will have to decide on two sets of policies. First is the sourcing policy, and then the cost recovery policy. Now let's look at the impact of having an IT chargeback mechanism. An IT chargeback mechanism that basically works on the service center or a profit center based approach. The economic impact of a service center or a profit center based IT chargeback mechanism is that it affects the demand and supply of IT services. So for example, if users are charged a price for a service, then that disciplines the user and affects the demand for the service. Similarly, if IT services are benchmarked against market prices, then it determines what IT services are offered by the IT organization. The IT organization in that case will be offering services where they can offer a service at a cost that is less than the market price for offering that service. So having a service center or a profit center based approach to IT chargeback affects the demand and supply of IT services. It has been found that a service center or a profit center based approach to IT chargeback reduces resource consumption. That is, when users are expected to pay a price for a service, it disciplines them and they only demand the service when it is worth the price. Having a service center or a profit center based approach where the users are charged a price helps the user evaluate different alternatives for a service. So the IT organization offers services at a price, so the user can evaluate different alternative investments, and only those investments where the investment is worth the price are pursued by the user. So having a service center or a profit center based IT chargeback mechanism helps to make better investment decisions. An IT chargeback mechanism also affects evaluations. For example, it affects business unit performance when the IT cost is a significant cost for the business units. So a service center or a profit center affects the business unit's performance because the IT costs are charged to the business unit. A service center or a profit center based IT chargeback also influences a business unit manager's conclusion about the competence of the IT unit. So if the IT unit can offer services and the business manager can compare the price of the service with the market price, that affects the business unit's manager's perceptions about the competence of the IT unit. If the IT unit can offer a service at a price that is less than the market price for that service, then the business unit manager knows that the IT organization is very efficient. When chargeback works well, it helps develop IT business partnerships. Business units can help IT organization understand its priorities. So when IT chargeback works well, business units can help IT organization understand business units' priorities. Similarly, when IT chargeback works well, IT can help business units understand IT costs. So when business units understand IT costs and IT organization understands business units' priorities well, they can together make better IT investment decisions. Thank you. Welcome back. This is the IS/IT governance course. In this lesson, we will summarize the key ideas from Module 3, Evaluating IT Investments. In this module, we started with the idea of information technology portfolio management. The main idea is any large company executes multiple projects in a given year. So we want to make sure that we select the right set of projects. So the idea here is not only to do the projects right, but to do the right projects. We discussed the idea of a portfolio, that is IT investment portfolio. In IT investment portfolio, we divide IT investments into 4 kinds of investments. Investments in firm-wide infrastructure are investments on network, computing and database services on which IT applications are run. The goal of firm-wide infrastructure is integration of applications and flexibility, as well as reduce costs through standardization of the infrastructure. The second kind of investments are transactional systems. Transactional systems process basic business transactions cost effectively. So the goal of transactional systems is reduced costs through increased throughput. The third type of systems are informational systems. Informational systems provide aggregated information from transactional systems to monitor and control the performance of the organization. So the goal of informational systems is better information and decision making. The fourth kind of systems are strategic systems. So strategic systems are applications that provide a competitive advantage. The goal of strategic systems is to increase sales, affect competitive advantage, and influence the market position of the firm. The idea behind IT investment portfolio is that an organization wants to make 4 kinds of investments that are aligned with the strategy of the firm. So we want to make sure that we select the right number or the right kinds of the 4 types of projects. A cost-focused firm spends 10 to 20% lower than the industry average. So a cost-focused firm spends 10 to 20% less than the average firm in the industry. However, the difference depends on the type of the investment. So compared to the average firm in the industry, a cost-focused firm spends much less on infrastructure and strategic systems. However, a cost-focused firm spends much more on transactional systems. In contrast to the average firm in the industry, an agility-focused firm spends 10 to 20% higher than the average firm in the industry. So when we look at the portfolio of an average firm compared to a firm that is focused on innovation and differentiation, the agility focused firm or innovation and differentiation focused firm should spend more on strategic systems compared to the average firm. The main idea behind information technology portfolio management is that a firm invests in 4 kinds of systems. These 4 kinds of systems, the balance between the 4 kinds of systems should be consistent with the strategy of the organization. Also, a portfolio is not a static entity. as business conditions change and as priorities change, the portfolio should also change. So the organization must continuously review the entire portfolio to make sure that the projects are aligned with the strategic orientation of the firm. The second idea we discussed in this module was the idea of IT chargeback. So the IT organization executes projects and then it runs the system. So it has to allocate the cost of the project and cost of operating the systems to the different users group. In this module, we discussed the three broad alternative mechanisms for allocating IT costs. So that is the cost center approach, service center approach, and the profit center approach. In the cost center approach, the IT organization treats IT costs as an overhead or allocates IT costs to different divisions based on number of employees or the assets of the organization, assets of the division. This approach is very simple to implement. It is easily understood by the users. However, it has two main disadvantages. First of all, it has no incentive or very little incentive for the IT organization to be efficient, because whatever costs are incurred by the IT organization, they are charged to somebody. Also, the cost center approach provides no incentives to the users to consume prudently. In contrast to the cost center approach, in the profit center approach, the IT organizations offers services where the services are charged at a rate that allows the IT organization to recover the cost of the service. The advantage of the service center is that the price mechanisms forces users to consume prudently. However, the disadvantage is that the IT organization still has no incentive to be efficient because their costs are charged to different users. Finally, the third approach to chargeback is the profit center based chargeback. In the profit center based chargeback, the IT organization offers a set of services. The services are priced at what the market would charge for the service. So the price charged in the profit center approach are benchmarked against the market price for the service. The advantage of the profit center approach is that it provides incentive to the IT organization to be efficient, because for all the services they offer, they have to recover the cost of offering that service by the price which is benchmarked against the market price. The price mechanism also incents the users to consume prudently. However, the drawback of the profit center approach is that it is complex to implement. You have to offer services which can be benchmarked against the services that are offered in the market. The impact of chargeback is that it affects the demand and supply of IT services. If the IT organization is required to offer services that are priced, then it affects the demand for the services, because users will have to pay the price for the services. Similarly, if the IT organization is organized as a profit center, it also affects the supply of the services, because the IT organization will only offer services where it can compete with the market for offering those services. It has been found that a service center or a profit center based chargeback reduces consumption. A service center or a profit center also allows users to make better decisions, because they have a price associated with each service. So for each service they demand, they have to pay a price, which means they evaluate the cost of a service with the value they derive from the service. So a service center or a profit center based chargeback leads to better IT investments. When chargebacks works well, chargeback helps IT and business develop a partnership. Business units help IT organization understand business units' priorities. Same way, when chargeback works well, IT organization helps business units understand IT costs. When business units understand the cost of different IT services, and when IT organization understand business units' priorities, together they make better decisions. Thank you.